They got me feeling like I'm academics. Can't
The soul. Sean G in the building. He's explaining what happened with the Diddy fight. Remember Diddy supposedly slapped Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yo, they say he slapped one of the inmates so hard a nigga thought he was back in the free world, man. So Diddy got sent to the hole. Now, his stay in at that, he's at like some, I don't call it luxury prison. There's no such thing, but it's definitely low security. It's Fort Dix. He was in a drug program that was going to reduce his sentence a lot. Now, after you fought, got thrown in the hole, or you're acting out, they could remove you from these programs and remove some of these things that would help you get out quicker. Obviously, Diddy, he's not here to like prove that he's tough in jail. He's here to get back to his family. However, if a nigga tests Diddy gonna lay the smack down no matter where. Shout out to my man Podcast with Soul, Sean G. He basically got the breakdown on what happened with Diddy. All right, y'all.
So the word from
here we go.
Inside Fort Dix is that Puff got into an altercation with another inmate in self-defense, in defense of his own safety, in defense of his own life. Puffy was provoked. From what I understand from the reports from inside of Fort Dix is that the inmate had been stalking Puff. So this was a situation where Puff was defending himself, right? So you got to understand that this is prison. Puffy is in prison. He's at Fort Dix, Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix. It's a low security prison, but they still get busy in there. It's a prison, right? This isn't, you can't look at this through the prism of you living in your house with the air conditioner on with a cup of coffee next to you and say, oh, well, he should have avoided it. He could have avoided it. Most likely is Puffy probably tried to avoid this thing probably for days, weeks, and months. Okay? And he may have been put in a position where he had to defend himself, right? So from what I understand, the inmate who he got into it with, this is his second time getting in some type of altercation. And the dude was stalking Puff. That was one of the words that I heard. And Puff is a high profile celebrity, man. So, it's nothing for people to try to get a rep on, trying to do something to him or get into it with him. But I want to stress that this was purely self-defense. Okay. And in prison, these are things that have to be done. It has to be done. And, I know he's short and almost getting ready to finish the RDAP program. What I hope and what I think is most likely to happen, we'll see over the next couple of days, is, maybe they'll let both of them guys back out onto the compound, allow them to go back into the program. Puff has been a model prisoner. He has had no incidents, no write-ups, no disciplinary.
So he's basically saying that Diddy's getting punished and he got sent to the hole, even though defending himself, apparently he won the fight. So he slapped Earth, Wind, and Fire out of this nigga. So, that's just how it's going to be in prison, right? They're not going to be like, oh, you defended yourself, so you're good. They're looking at you because if you beat the other dude up, you're involved in the fight. They're not here to figure out who started it, blah, blah, blah. They're just here to say, you both are in a fight, you both go to the hole.
Actions since he was in MDC Brooklyn. When he was in MDC Brooklyn, he started a program to help the inmates that were in MDC Brooklyn called Free Game with Diddy. That was sanctioned by the BOP. Inmates that were in MDC Brooklyn wrote letters on his behalf for the judge for sentencing, telling the judge in their letters how much impact Puff had on them while they were in MDC Brooklyn. That there was no fights in the zone, in the unit where Puff was in MDC Brooklyn. That guys had hope, that he had spoke life into a lot of the guys, man, and gave them hope that they could change their lives. And from what I understand, the same thing was going down at Fort Dix. Puff was labeled a model prisoner, playing leadership roles in a lot of dudes' lives, providing hope and an inspiration.
Okay. All right. So Diddy apparently was in a fight with a North Carolina inmate. And according to my man Sean G, it looked like the inmate may have been like stalking him, probably a little bit trying to be on that groupie vibe or whatever. However, it turned into a physical altercation. Diddy supposedly defended himself, but he still got sent to the hole. There is confirmation that he's still in the RDAP program. The RDAP program is a drug program that he actually qualified for because of the special circumstances of they admitted that throughout the time that he was doing all the crimes, he was under the influence of many drugs, and thus he qualified for the RDAP program. The RDAP program gives you significant reduction of your sentence if you complete the drug program, and it adds on to all the other things that gets you reduced time.
Wait, so now TMZ and everybody else are posting a story about Diddy in solitary confinement that I dropped last night. They late, but they don't even got the whole story. Let me tell you the whole story. It's crazy. Now, last night, if you follow me, you already knew about this, but now everybody talking about it. Let me tell you what happened with Diddy. They're saying that it was a fight, but nobody knows what the fight is over except me. The fight that Diddy got into it with one of the inmates that got him put in the hole was over two things: cigarettes and cell phones. Let me explain. First, the cigarette. Of course, yeah.
That sounds like a stock reason, huh? Cigarettes and cell phones. Like, what the fuck were they going to fight over? Baby oil?
People say, well, you could have cigarettes in Fort Dix and all that. Yeah, but you can't smoke in certain areas. And what did he do? He smoked in an area where other inmates were at and got in trouble by the officials. And guess what that caused? That caused the prison officials to lock down that area and search the area. When they searched that area, they found 3 cell phones. Now, I can't confirm for sure if one of those cell phones is Diddy. They saying it was or not, but one of those cell phones was for sure the inmate that Diddy ended up fighting. The inmate got pissed at Diddy because he was smoking in that area and got everybody in trouble and got his cell phone took, so they got to fight. Now, if you listen to TMZ and the rest of the blogs who don't get it, who don't have the information, they just say the guy dissed Diddy. Now, it's deeper than that. So as a result of being put in the hole, they have zero tolerance of fighting. Diddy is kicked out of that program and will be doing his whole sentence. Make sure you follow me if you want to know what the hell going on, because they taking my stories and they giving me credit, and I don't like it. What if I told you? Wait, so now
All right, man. Baby, you got me? Mm-hmm. All right, so look.
My man Sean G got a little bad thing with him filming him?
I did federal prison time, and cigarettes is considered contraband. It was not allowed on the
he's saying that guy's lying.
Compound. You were not allowed to smoke tobacco. They did not sell tobacco on the commissary. And you could not smoke cigarettes. There was no designated area where you could smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, that kind of make more sense. Like, imagine be like, yo, listen, y'all could smoke cigarettes, just not over here. Yeah, this is jail. It's not. I know it's it's like a softball like prison that he's at, but not this soft, right?
I did my time at FCI Morgantown in Morgantown, West Virginia. I don't know about Fort Dix, if there's a designated area where you can smoke cigarettes. There may not be. But I doubt that the BOP would have different rules for different prisons. Usually with the BOP, they lay a rule down and it's across the country. Number two, I spoke to somebody that worked with Puff at Daddy's studio. Puff didn't smoke cigarettes, and there was a no cigarette smoking policy implemented at Puffy's studios, the Daddy's house. Number two. Number three, Puff is still in the shoe. Number four, a determination has not been made whether he is kicked out of the program or still in the program. No decision has been made. Was that number five? This would be number five. Number five. Did I just get off the phone with a nigga?
Yes.
I just got off the phone.
By the way, I looked it up on like ChatGPT. They're saying usually in federal prisons, cigarettes or any type of tobacco products are pretty much like considered contraband. So he's kind of right. Maybe that other guy was capping.
Speaking to somebody inside Fort Dix, an inmate. Not gonna tell you his name. Sean, 3 niggas went to the shoot. Puff, the nigga Puff grabbed, and there was another nigga from New York that saw Puffy grab my man. The dude was up in Puffy's face. The dude's been sweating Puff. And got up in Puffy's face. Puff grabbed him. They had a tussling match. Another nigga from New York swung on the nigga from North Carolina, missed him. They broke it up. All 3 got sent to the shoot. That is from an inside source at FCI Fort Dix where this went down. It did not, as this guy, I don't even know this dude's name, it did not take place outside in some designated cigarette smoking area. It was inside the building, inside RDAP. We don't know what's going to happen. RDAP.
That's the drug program.
The RDAP program is very, very strict. It definitely was where I did my time at FCI Morgantown. Niggas would get kicked out of the RDAP program all of the time for various reasons. Is fighting a reason you can get kicked out of the RDAP program?
I would imagine.
Absolutely. Getting drunk, getting high, whatever, getting caught with a cell phone. Huh? Okay. Smallest little thing. Niggas used to get kicked out of there.
All right, so Puff's still in the program as of now. He could get kicked out of it. Inmate was kind of like, doing a little bit too much. Maybe he's a groupie. Maybe he's a fan. Maybe he thinks Puff walking around like he's privileged. Maybe he think Puff is better than everybody else. He steps to Puff. Puff put, the pause on him, had to remind him like, yo, this is what I've been doing to niggas on the streets. And yeah, Puff got sent to the shoe. Okay. We'll see. All right. Chat, have you seen the hip hop commentators? They're all in shambles now. Why does my camera look so crazy?